Hello everybody, June here. This is the long overdue wrap-up video for my 2019 Make 9 challenge. I will post a card here somewhere to the original video back from the beginning of 2019 where I explained what my projects would, what my patterns would be and all of that. And even though I've talked about most of the projects I did finish in other videos, it hasn't been all of them. And then of course are the ones that I didn't actually get around to. So this is gonna be a wrap up of all of that. But before I start, I want to thank you for tuning in. I know that my videos are pretty sporadic and I don't have a regular posting schedule, but I really can't commit to a regular posting schedule because life happens and this is not my main or even my gig at all. I don't actually get any money from this, and so my actual everyday life has to take precedence over YouTube and even sewing. So anyhow, without further ado, let's get into the projects that I did finish from my 2019 Make 9. Now, these are not in any order, except for the first one that I'm going to talk to you about because it is the first one I did finish and it is also the only one that isn't a sewing project. This is the weekend sweater from We Are Knitters. This is a blue sweater with drop shoulders and a bit of a bow neckline knit in chunky yarn, and I loved it from the moment that I saw it online and I knew I wanted to make it. In the end I did make it, and I think it is actually a little bit too oversized for me. I should have gone a size down. I do wear it, but it's really not my favorite thing to wear because I feel like it makes me look way bigger than I am, and believe me, I don't need any help in that department. The next project was the ginger jeans, and I talked about in the original video why I wanted to make jeans, and it has a lot to do with my body shape and how I like my jeans to fit and the current trend for jeans and pants in general, which is mid-rise at the lowest and high-waisted and that sort of thing. So I wanted to make jeans that that I would actually wear and that would actually fit. So I made a pair of ginger jeans, and then I made another pair of ginger jeans, and then I made a third pair of ginger jeans. So the ginger jeans are a favorite. I've made I made the low rise version, and then I bought the separate pattern for the mid-rise skinny legs. And I made that too, and I like them better than I like the low rise. So the ginger jeans was a big hit, and it is the one pattern in my Make 9 that I made the most of, for good reason. They are pretty fantastic. Another pattern on my Make 9 was the York Pinafore dress by Helen's Closet. And whenever I see these pinafores on Instagram and other people, I love how they look. And I thought that for me it would be good, like it would look good. But then I made a first pair, and first of all, I'm gonna put a link to the original video where I talk about this, but I made a size too small and it was a struggle getting it on. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna make a size larger and then go with that. So I made another one, and I still didn't like it. It looks so homely on me, not at all like it looks on other people. So I made two versions of the York Pinafore, and I have donated both because I'm never going to wear them. It just didn't look right on me, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's because I made them in denim, or I don't know why. It just wasn't for me. The next pattern that I really wanted to make was the Hampton jean jacket by Alina Design Co. I think is the full name of the pattern company. And you know, I have never owned a denim jacket before because I have large breasts and I have big biceps and I'm short. And when things get scaled up in size for width, they also get scaled up in size for height. And the sleeves are always too long on me. And yes, I know that a lot of times you wear them rolled up, but what if I wanted to wear them, you know, like normal sleeves? So that's why I decided to make my own. And I did some research out there, and there actually isn't a whole lot in the way of patterns for jean jackets. I know there's one by Style, well, there's two by Style Arc, and then there's one by by Seamwork. But in the end, I settled on the Hampton jean jacket, and I made a jacket in a light blue denim, and I really liked the fit. I really enjoyed the process of making this jacket, but from the get-go, I knew that I wanted to make a jacket that was a darker wash and that was embroidered in the back. So I used that first jacket as sort of my first try, and it's fine. It's a perfectly wearable jacket, but it wasn't my ultimate goal. So then after summer was done, because who thinks about coats and jackets in summer, I picked up again the idea of doing the dark wash with the and the embroidery in the back, and I settled for this embroidery from Urban Threads, and it says "Sorry Not Sorry," and it took me 3 hours to embroider on a machine, and I loved how it looked. I took so much time with the second version of this jacket. I did all the sanding on the seams for distressing. The top stitching is top notch, and I really love it. So along with my ginger jeans, I think this is actually, let me take that back. This is my favorite project from my Make 9, is this particular version of my Hampton jean jacket, and I love it, and I always get compliments when I wear it, and honestly, it looks so great. If I can toot my own horn here, it looks really amazing, and that embroidery in the back, I think that takes it up a whole other level, and I'm really happy with it. Then there is McCole 6696, which is this dress that everyone and their mother has made, and this one was difficult. I actually made two versions. I made a muslin, and I decided the muslin fit okay, so I went on and made a dress. I made it in a stretch poplin, and after I finished it, before I did the final things like binding the armholes, I realized that it was just so big. It was big not only in the sense that it was pretty long in the waist, even though I had made a muslin, but it was actually big. And it was doing weird things up here on the upper bust part, and I was never gonna wear it. So I didn't finish it. What I did was I made it in a size down, and I was pretty confident that the size down would fit. So I finished everything, and it is so tight. It is so tight, in fact, that I can't wear it. It is also in a stretch poplin, but it stretches so much that the button band sort of spreads out. I can't wear it. So one size was too big, and then the one size down was too small, and I was left with no dress to wear, even though I made it twice. So I still have the one that's too small, because I did finish it, and we always hope to lose some weight, not gain some weight. But I don't actually think I'm gonna wear it. I mean, I'm not actively trying to lose weight or anything. So it's just taking up space in my closet, which is a real shame, because I did put a lot of effort into this dress, and it looks great. I will put a video or a picture of it here on a dress form. But yeah, that was really a shame, because the silhouette looks great on me. It just needs to be somewhere between these two sizes, and I can do that. But after making the dress, well, really 3 times, because I made a muslin, one right after the other, I was burnt out, and then I didn't try to make it again because I was burnt out. And then this is actually the last one that I made. I made it on December 31st, was the Vicki sweater, and there is a video about it. I will leave the link somewhere in the description box, but I really like it. It's not everything that I thought that it would be, because I did rush it a lot, because I wanted to get it done before the year was over. But I like it enough that I would make it again in different fabric, maybe taking a little bit more care. It's a helicopter. Yes, so I would make it again, maybe in different fabric, maybe being more careful and not as rushed. But I did finish it, and that is 6 out of 9 that I managed to finish in 2019. And let me tell you that I thought that I wouldn't even finish that many. So now let's talk about the things I didn't make. First was the coat by the Avid Seamstress. The name of the pattern is The Coat. And I picked up this pattern in the UK when I was there over a year ago now, doing research. And I picked it up because I really wanted to make a simple, as simple as coats can be, coat that was long, unlined, easy to make, that I could just throw on and go, because I needed to retire a very old coat that was falling apart. So I picked it up, and then I came home, and last year in 2019 I traced the pattern pieces, and then I started looking for reviews online, and I found one that just took the wind out of my sails. It wasn't a very good review, and because I wanted something that was relatively simple to make, I didn't want to dive into that project, so I put it aside. Now I did replace it with something else. I did replace it with the Merit coat from Les Maisons Victor, which I will put a link to in the description box. So I traded one for the other, but I didn't actually make the one that I intended to make. Another pattern I didn't get to making was the Myosotis dress by Deer and Doe. Now I had every intention to make this dress, and I don't have a reason as to why I didn't make it. I just didn't get to it. It has, I think, something to do with the fact that I did make another dress that was somewhat similar in shape, and it was a disaster, but not similar enough that it's actually a translation of the other one. But in my head, if one didn't work out, the other one probably wouldn't work out either. And also because I think it's a style that you have to get like the bust fit right, and I don't know, it's just a lot of work, and I like quick projects, even though I am learning to enjoy the long-term ones, the slower ones, and I don't know, I just didn't get to it. And then the last thing I didn't get to was the cape style number 20 from the Patrones Extra 64, issue 64 magazine, and I do have the lining for that, I do have the fabric for that. The reason that I didn't get to it is because there's so many pattern pieces on this thing, and I have to trace them from the magazine, and I have to add seam allowances. And then I started working on another cape style jacket, and they're not exactly the same. Like, it's just because you have one doesn't mean you can have the other one. But I started working on that, and that has been in the making for a long time, and so I didn't get to this other one. But this is something that I do want to make. So although I'm not doing a make line for 2020, I do want to make this cape at some point in the not too distant future. I just didn't get to it in 2019. So that is 6 things I completed and 3 things that I did not complete from my Make 9. And it was all along an experiment, because I've said before that I am really not a planner in the slightest. I sew sort of as the mood strikes, and you know what I want to sew in that particular time. So even planning out, even planning out like a month of sewing to me is preposterous, let alone a whole year. So I treated 2019 Make 9 as a sort of, if I'm out of ideas, I have a list of things I want to make. It didn't actually work out that way either. I've learned that I'm absolutely, definitely not a planner, and I can't follow those sorts of guidelines and plans. So why even try? But I wouldn't call the 2019 Make 9 experiment a complete failure either. It wasn't as much of a success as I would have liked, but I did make 2/3 of the things on this list, which isn't insignificant, and I made many of them more than once. And even by having things like jeans and the jean jacket, it forced me to sort of go out of my comfort zone and work on things that take a long time. Jeans take a long time. Jean jackets take a really long time. I talk about in the video for that particular embroidered jean jacket how long it took me. And my gosh, I think it might have been like 27 hours, I can't remember, of actual work. So yes, it wasn't an entire failure, but I am not doing it again. Just because it's hard. The planning part is hard, and the sticking to it is hard, and it comes to a point where it's no longer enjoyable. And if I don't enjoy the sewing, then what am I even doing? And that is all that I have for you for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!